to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a night.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys are hearing me loud and clear as people filter in here. We got to give the YouTubes like 30 seconds to bring in everything and make sure that things are actually live. If people can give me a 5x5, that would be super duper. Until then, I'm going to continue to drink coffee and think of you in my brain housing group and how we can talk about some mysterious things today. Andy Pearson, thank you very much, my friend, giving me that 5x5. All right, so let's see. I'm looking over at the Rumble side, and it says there's 7 people over there, but I'm not getting anything off of them. So, as usual, they're lame duck slackers over there on Rumble, the home of free speech, but they never talk. It's kind of funny if you think about it. All right, so we're almost up to 15. I normally start at 15. That way I know that I've got some people in here. Hopefully you guys are doing pretty good. Quick admin note also for the Restream people. Sorry it took so long to get started, but it is what it is. And then, like I said, a quick admin note. I'm going to try and stream the UFO hearing today by the U.S. House Oversight Committee. I don't know how much traction it will get, but I figured, well, what the hell? Let's do something. Let's do something. And then it's literally something that I can turn on, walk away from if it starts getting boring, and come back on. You know how those things work. But I'll be doing that today. It's supposed to start at 11:30. So on your lunch breaks, just turn it on and listen or something like that. Somebody will be talking. Hopefully they're not going to be running late because I hate waiting on government officials, which is one of the reasons I got out of government. Anywho, looks like we're all here today. If you could do me a favor, throw that thumbs up so that lets people know that, yeah, come on in here. We need to do something. All right. So, JB, I love that you're omnipresent. First on Rumble, and probably one of the only 3 that will say anything on Rumble, but I know that you're also omnipresent. So let's see here. We got Debbie Chandler first. Rose, number 2. All righty then. Canada, you are deterred. All right, who else we got in the house here? We got Cindy. Cindy showed up. Obviously, JB is here. We got Light Raider. We got West Virginia Pappy. We got Andy Pearson. We got the Catitude. Let's see here. Who else we got here? Pastor showed up. Good to go. Rose is here. Dog and Ball Productions is in the house. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so very quickly, Creative Redundancy just showed up. There you go. So very quickly, so the poll question is, which emergency myth do you find most surprising? We're going to go over 10 emergency myths that people kind of freak out about. And at the end, we'll give some recommendations and some ideas on how to not do these crazy things. For some of us, it's like, this is kind of common sense. But for some people that may be watching this, maybe not so. So it's always good to get back to the basics. All right. Currently, 67% sees help arrives quickly every time. Yeah, that's definitely a myth. All right, so we're going to close that up there. Ian just showed up working on coffee. There you go, my friend. Get that coffee in your bloodstream. Put it in with the hypodermic needles. The Real Patriot Medic, number 2 on Rumble. And Laser, you are the turd of Rumble. Thank you for participating. Don't know where that cough is coming from. The temperature dramatically changed here overnight. So hopefully nothing crazy is going to happen. I got to remember to take my vitamins when we're done with this. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So emergencies. The very word evokes images of panic and chaos, while some situations indeed demand urgent action. Numerous misconceptions can actually worsen a crisis if followed blindly. Here, we're gonna aim to debunk at least 10 of these of the most common myths surrounding emergencies, and we're going to highlight some practical strategies and better preparedness. Cindy says, I'm at the hospital for my procedure. Pray for good results from test samples from procedure next week, and that good samples are taken, so no repeat procedure. Have a great day, everyone. Well, Cindy, good luck. I was not aware that you were going for procedures today, but love you, girl. Let us know what happens. Let's see here. Andy says, don't forget to increase your vitamin D. Yes. And no one is, oops, is clearly not here and telling me that I'm in the top chat. So I'm going to beat him to it. Ha ha. Yeah, no, basically the vitamins are B, C, and D. Those are the main ones that keep you healthy. Everybody like, oh, you take this and take that, but B, C, and D does it pretty much every time. Right along. Good morning. Good morning. Bradley Collins. Bradley is in the house. T-minus 17 seconds to your next meeting, folks. All right. So if you guys are not familiar with how this works, it's pretty simple. I talk about stuff. You write stuff. I talk about the stuff that you write. Drink coffee. Move forward. It's congestion. It's in there. I can feel it. All right. So let's talk about myth number one. Myth number one. And I'm going to be saying some things here that you probably won't agree with. So if you don't agree, put it in the chat. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything either, because every situation is situational. Myth number one. Every emergency requires frantic action. Hollywood often depicts emergency as high-speed, adrenaline-pumped events where frantic actions are necessary to survive. In reality, man, this congestion. In reality, staying calm and composed is key to making sound decisions. Take a moment to breathe, assess the situation, and plan actions. It can prevent costly mistakes if you do it this way. There is actually the algorithm. No, it's called the STOP algorithm. I'm not really keen on the whole first part, but it does work if you're not in a life-threatening situation. So with the STOP method, as we'll call it, is sit, think, observe, plan. It helps to prioritize the right actions, and panicked scrambling can lead to missed details, injuries, or even worsening the crisis. Stop thinking. Creative redundancy had it already. Ha ha ha. Someone knows what they're doing. I'm here. Just didn't tell you. Oops, I'm depending on you to keep me in line, brother. I mean, come on. Do your part. See something, say something. Debbie, I think you might be right. Smoke from the fire last night. That could be it. That's one of the reasons I stopped smoking the cigars, especially near the fires, because it's just like in the morning I was all crusty. So, oh, okay. Okay. Stop, think, observe, plan is the is the method or algorithm used to not freak the hell out. And since you have nothing more to say about it, I will move on to myth number two, or play catch up if you guys have something to say on that particular myth. You know, I almost hate when I say a lot of stuff that you agree with, because then you guys never say anything. Good point. Pastor says, good point. How many emergencies are the results of dumb decisions? Better yet, how many emergencies have been made worse with... Sorry about that. Worm is not doing well with the move, and he is just very needy, and I've got to keep an eye on him because he's trying to find things to claw instead of his clawing post. It's a little aggravating, but I understand it. He's a very needy cat. Anyway, so let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to myth number two. Fight or flight is the only option. I want you to think of this ideologically, because there's two sides to every coin, and what I'm going to say you may not agree with what I'm saying, because they have updated that thought process from fight to flight to freeze as things that happen whether we like it or not. Okay. And for some people, for some people, they will freeze. But think about what I'm saying here first, because we can use it as a positive. The fight or flight response is a natural reaction to danger, but there's also a third, often overlooked option: freeze. This response may actually be the safest reaction in certain situations. For example, freezing could be vital when encountering a wild animal or during a standoff with armed intruders. However, it's crucial to understand when freezing could be deadly, such as during a home invasion where quick, decisive action might save lives. Knowing when to act and when to pause requires situational awareness and training. Good morning, JDM. Good to see you. Who's your writer, LP? I am. Is there a problem? What do you think? What do you think? I just sit around like all day, just like, no, I actually do work all day long. I put about 7-8 hours into these live streams. By the time I'm done with that 1 hour live streams, I'm somewhere between 7 and 8 hours. Do a lot of research, write a lot of things like that. I'm writing a book, Broseph. All right. So my thought process on the fight or flight mentality is that they've recently updated. It used to be fight or flight. You used to get taught this when you learned hand-to-hand combat, how to control it, and how to use it. But then recently they've updated it to fight, flight, or freeze. And what we're finding out is that if you watch a lot of YouTube about craziness, there's a lot of people that won't run. You know, that used to be the whole shorts thing. Run, run. You know, now a lot of people, they're starting to freeze in place because they don't know what to do. It's all very emblematic of the fainting goats. You know, it's becoming human beings. I hate to say it. It's like the pussification of America. We have an entire generation, guys. I don't know what we're going to call this next generation. This generation of people that do not have spines, they do not have backbones, they do not have cojones, they do not have intestinal fortitude. They don't know what to do in a situation. And once their brain realizes that they are in danger, they actually freeze, fall to the ground, crumble. And it's a serious problem in the real world. You know, unfortunately, well, it's unfortunate and fortunate because the world that we live in is reasonably safe, but over the last 4 years, it has become incredibly unsafe. And so now these people who thought they were living in this non-violent, touchy-feely utopia, their brains shut down. It just turns off when they get into a scary situation where they realize that their life is in danger. So it could go either way. I think the idea behind having freeze as an option is that gives you time to, going back to the stop method of just like stopping and thinking. So, and that's the direction that I wanted to lean when I talked about that. But I also wanted to make sure that you understood that we do have an entire generation. Excuse me, I get a little bit of emotional about how messed up. That's right. From now on, it's like messed up. Our entire world is because of these people. Let's go to the chat here real quick. Andy Pearson says, pussification, laugh my ass out. That's funny. It's true. It's very true. Andy says, in every emergency, you need to ensure the scene you are in or heading to is safe. Don't make a bad situation worse. Exactly. Yellow stripes. Rose says, yellow stripes. You know, it's very true. It's very true what Andy is saying, because many times people will get they could get involved in a situation that would have de-escalated itself, but because they injected themselves into it, trying to play, the hero with the white knight mentality, they may have actually made it worse. They may have intensified it. They may have pushed a situation that was volatile into something that is explosive now. Where it was just going to be a couple of dudes fighting or whatever, hey, let them work it out, to, oh my God, now there's a knife, now there's a gun, now someone's dead, that kind of thing. So you got to really be kind of paying attention before you stick your nose in other people's business. Pastor says, the new dysfunctional generation is due to lack of adequate parenting. 100%. 100%. Let me tell you a story. When my youngest daughter, and this is kind of personal, when my youngest daughter was uh, in her first year of school, not kindergarten, but her first year of school. The school teachers had decided that they'd all got together and had a little meeting, a little powwow, a little educational kumbaya scenario, and decided that she needed to be in special ed because she wasn't learning as fast as the other kids. And so they called us in, and we went to them, and we talked to them, and I basically told them, no, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to keep an eye on her, but you're going to keep her in regular classes, and you're going to push her to do her job. You're to do her job of learning. That's a student's job to learn. Okay. And miraculously, she didn't have many more learning issues. Later on in life, I want to say it was middle school, they tried to hold her back in one grade, hold her back a grade, because they said that she wasn't developed enough. And I said, is she passing all of your classes? Yes, she is. All right, can I get sound check? I appreciate you guys. Today's sponsor is Jackery. That's hilarious. All right, I just need a sound check real quick, guys. I appreciate you. It says there's 18 of you in here, and it looks like the chat is still active. I'm trying to see I'm back. There we go. Okay, good. Woo, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, basically the whole house just like, and then the internet wouldn't come back on, and then the main machine wouldn't come back on. That thing's going to take forever, like to power up. See that little thing that says ASUS in the middle of it? It's going to take forever to power up now. As I'm telling you, I need a new machine. Had to reset my page 5x5. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, bro. All right, let's see if we can get that chat back into where we belong here. YouTube chat. Share. There we go. That's not how I like it. That's how I like it right there. Okay. All right. So new dysfunctional generation is due to lack of adequate parenting. We talked about that. We're just going to get right back on this. All right. So why is the chat not updating? Hold on a second, guys. See this. Hold on a second. There we go. Yeah, that thing put us on a whole different thread, which is kind of funny too. Also, I don't really like the fact that I'm blurry. I'm supposed to be transmitting at 4K right now. All right. Anyway, so let me pop this chat out. That way you guys, I can connect it to you guys. One-man band here, guys. One-man band. Present, share screen, YouTube chat. Pa-cha-chow. Okay, so we are now back to being operational, I think. I do not know if I'm still on Rumble or not. I do not know. If I'm on Rumble, somebody on Rumble, please say something. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, so we talked about the fight or flight. Let's talk about myth number 3. Evacuate during every fire. People have a tendency, we're kind of trained as from the time we're kids just to get out whenever there's a fire. So I want you to think about what I'm going to say here. And that's the way I like it. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of CPU are you looking into getting? Oh, the CPU. Well, it's going to be either a Ryzen or the development machine runs a Ryzen, or it'll be at least an i5, probably an i7, but we'll see. They're always changing. Rumble is working. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you. Rumble just kicked in. Good morning. There you go. Thank you, Stray Kitten. Thank you. Top chat. Boom. There we go. Live. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. All right. So straight top chat alert. Woo, 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 woo. Appreciate you, girl. All right. So, but yeah, it's either going to be a Ryzen or it'll be a freaking like an i7 or something like that. I really got to look at it because there's a balance between in chipsets between mathematical or algorithmic type stuff versus stuff that's done on the GPU. When I upgrade to the 4K software, I need to make sure that what I need to dig deep into the software and find out where it's actually doing the work. Believe it or not, that thing actually has a hard disk drive inside of it that I do all of the development work on it, but the operating drive is a solid state drive. All right, done geeking out. We are done geeking out for the day. All right, let's see here. So evacuate during every fire. I need some coffee. By the way, we're halfway through the day. So what I'm going to need you to do is put a number 1 in the chat if you love your country. America. There we go. I'm going to drink some stuff. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to talk about some stuff while you do that. And hopefully that'll bring back that'll bring back some stuff. Chat. Can't chat. Here's the algo. Rock on. Gotcha. All right, so while evacuating is often the best response to a fire, not every situation requires fleeing. A small kitchen fire might be controlled with a fire extinguisher, provided it's done safely. However, if the fire involves toxic materials or is spreading rapidly, immediate evacuation is your safest course. Now, There are some that believe that opening windows to air out smoke and avoid inhaling harmful fumes is a good idea. It will warn you that is strictly situational. However, never prioritize property over personal safety. Insurance is there to replace material possessions, but lives cannot be replaced. Tuck V, I'm trying to tell you about. What are you trying to tell me about? Can't chat here for the algo rock. Okay. I don't know. What do we got here? Grumpy says, what do you mean that doesn't arrive quickly every time? The government says, trust me, do I need to be my own first? Yes, Grumpy, you are your own first responder. In fact, you know how this works. Self-aid, buddy aid, corpsman aid. Cha-cha! If you guys don't know what that is, you don't know. But you could probably figure it out. All right, let's see here. Number 4, bigger emergencies are always worse. Large-scale disasters like hurricanes or earthquakes grab headlines, but smaller emergencies can be just as disruptive. A burst pipe or a medical emergency at home can have serious financial and emotional consequences. Being prepared for both large and small incidents is essential. This includes knowing how and when to safely shut off utilities like water, gas, and electricity. However, knowing when not to touch them is just as critical. Attempting to shut off an electrical main while standing in water can be deadly. Safety should always come first. This requires some training, some common sense, some knowledge of how these things work. What are we talking about? We're talking about Silcock keys. We're talking about knowing where the gas cutoff is, and if a specific wrench is required to do it, or is it just a lever that you turn? Sometimes there's even more than one disconnect, or it's not a disconnect, but a turnoff for a gas line. So you should know where they both are. There's generally one somewhere inside the house, and there's generally one outside of the house someplace. Let's see. Stray Kitten, Brandon Raynor School of Natural Therapies. His videos, messaging arthritis might help you. Got you, Tuck. Got you. All right. So let's see. Number 5. Help comes immediately in every emergency. Dun, dun, dun. It's easy to assume that emergency responders will arrive quickly in any crisis. However, during large-scale disasters, resources can be stretched thin, especially in remote or suburban areas. Our favorite people, FEMA and similar agencies, often prioritize heavily populated areas first, meaning those in less densely populated regions may wait longer for aid. It's essential to prepare for at least 72 hours of self-sufficiency. Stocking up on food, water, and medical supplies ensures families can manage during the critical window before help arrives. Well, let's see here. Let me go to the chat here real quick here. Messaging, not messaging. Straight, you guys need to refresh your browsers. Refresh your browsers. I had to do the same thing. It was stuck on my very last post. And when I refreshed, then the message would fix itself. So that's the fix, guys. You have to refresh your screens because it worked for me. Okay, so with that said, guys, I wanted to talk to you briefly. I want to pay some bills here, but I like to do it in a way that is going to be it's going to be beneficial for people. And so once again, I've got another email here from Refuge Medical, and this is Life Saved number 92. And these are actually like stories. I haven't even read this one yet, but I already know what it is. So these are actually letters that they write Refuge Medical after they save somebody's life, because if you didn't know, they are whatever equipment that you use to save somebody's life, Refuge Medical will replace 100%. Let's see here. So yesterday afternoon, I was leaving my job site, and one of the laborers came up to me and a teammate telling us that a laborer had cut his arm using a tile saw. Wow. We quickly got to the loading dock, and the injured was being carried down the stairs. One of the men helped, calling out, "We need a tourniquet." So I ran to my car to get one that I keep in the center console, ran back and applied the tourniquet. 10 minutes later, the ambulance got to the site to help the injured. If it were not for your company and your videos teaching how to use tourniquets, I would not have had the equipment or knowledge to help in the situation. And who knows what would have happened to the man. Thank you, Refuge team, for what you do and taking this so seriously. I never thought I would have to ever use the medical equipment or know how to use it, but I'm so glad I do. I praise the Lord for putting me there so I could be help and helpful, a witness to my teammates who saw my actions. I also hope this will lead to medical training amongst my team so we are all capable to respond in the future. Once again, thank you for what you do and how just your videos and gear got me ready to help. May the Lord bless you, your families, and the work you do. So once again, a testament to Refuge Medical. I really love the company. I actually have I paid way too much for a Bearfac. And it's actually a 2.0, not a 3.0, but that's okay. It's still a Bearfac. And I'm going to be doing a video on its contents and how to use it, like how to handle it. We're not going to tear anything apart. But if you guys are interested in anything that has to do with Refuge Medical, everything that they have and use is made in America. Yeah, they're probably the best, I would say, emergency medical company on the planet. Not a joke. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description. Go on down there. Make sure that you use the provided code to save you some moolah. But I wanted to share that with you guys in a fancy way of paying the bills. So let's see here. Right person, right gear for that wrong time. Yes, creative redundancy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So Rose says motorcycle accident over weekend locally. Prepared nurse happened by and was able to help save a life. I don't know what was her kit. I gotcha. Let's see. Took their stop to bleed glass. Great info. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And as I understand it, they are, no, that's not that. It's a different company I'll talk about later. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. We're like I said, we're about halfway through. We've done all the crazy stuff. Number 6, emergency preparedness is expensive. Interesting. Well, prepping can involve some costs. It doesn't have to break the bank. Building an emergency kit can be done gradually over time. Buying an extra can of food each grocery trip, utilizing dollar stores and repurposing household items are effective ways to stock up. Learning DIY skills like how to purify water using basic filters can also save money. Preparedness is an investment that pays off by reducing stress and increasing resilience during an emergency. Magical. Number 7, only professionals can handle emergencies. By the way, guys, I know you probably just agree with that one, but if you've got something to say in the comments, it does help. Only professionals can handle emergencies. Yeah, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not green enough. You're not better enough. Anyway, many people believe that handling emergencies is best left to professionals. But in reality, ordinary citizens can manage most situations with the right training. Taking courses in first aid and CPR can equip individuals with skills to handle medical emergencies until professionals arrive. There are also plenty of free resources online, such as YouTube tutorials or platforms like Coursera that offer guidance on survival skills, shelter building, and water purification. The more knowledge someone acquires, the more confident they become in managing crises of their own. Yes, Yes, yes. Training, education in emergencies does pay off. And it pays off because now you don't have to wonder that one thought, what do I do now? Yeah, exactly. Magical, right? What do I do now? Well, you already know what to do. You've already been trained to do. You've already educated yourself in what to do. So you don't have that thought in the back of your brain housing group. Let's see here. Tuckvy is being elusive. I'll keep trying to tell him about it. I gotcha. Yeah. Well, you can't get experience. Good experiences are rarely found when you didn't have prior knowledge or understanding. It can happen. Your experiences on riding a motorcycle are completely independent, but at some point you had to kind of figure out how it works. So we'll just use that analogy. All right, let's see here. Number 8, emergencies only happen to others. Yeah, that never happens here, man. It's common for people to think it won't happen to me. But emergencies do not discriminate. Natural disasters, accidents, and sudden medical issues can strike anyone, anywhere. The key to preparedness is adopting the mindset that it's not a matter of if, but when an emergency will occur. Taking proactive steps like creating a family plan, and having supplies on hand can help mitigate the impact of unexpected events. Yeah, that's kind of important. Go into the chat. I see some stuff happen there. Cuckv says, you go down to your level of training during the emergency, you can't excel. Very true. Very true. You can't get better. So you must train. You must train. Ike, I see you're omnipresent over there too, bro. I appreciate you. At least I think it's the same Ike. Ike, is Ike 82? Are you also? Oh, no, that's Ike, not Ian. Wow. Okay. Ike, good to see you, bro. Let's see here. Every time I see somebody new, and I honestly just don't spend enough time on Rumble anymore. But Ike, so if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But every time I see somebody new on Rumble, it gives me incentive to continue to stream on Rumble. Adam, also, I don't recognize you either. Make sure you subscribe. Let's see here. Teresa Buchanan. Gotcha. All right. So number 9, my insurance covers everything. While insurance is an essential safety net, it's not a cure-all. Homeowners should review their policies to understand coverage limitations and consider additional riders for high-value items like jewelry and electronics. Documenting belongings through photos or videos can simplify claims after a disaster. Additionally, creating an emergency savings fund can provide a cushion for costs that insurance doesn't cover, such as a temporary housing or out-of-pocket medical expenses. It's been a long time since I've done one of those. Wow. Drink coffee. So I'm omnipresent this morning. I got you, Ike. This is Ian SK. Are you sure, Ike? Are you just playing me? Are you playing me like a little fiddle? Remember, broken bones don't equal non-movement of adjacent fingers or toes. Non-motion equals cut tendons. There you go, Rose. Bradley says, for insurance, it's very important to take photos of things you have, of the things you have in them. I'm just going to go with yes, it's important to take photos. You should definitely, Bradley, remember, drink. Oops, there's oops. There we go. Okay. Yes, but it's like, so where do the photos go? I mean, do they go on your phone? I honestly recommend, I hate to say it, I'm going to take some crap for this, but I recommend that you get them into the cloud, your Google Drive, because even your phone can be destroyed in an emergency. It's like, well, I'll have them on my phone, or I'll have them all on this thumb drive, or I'll have them all on the thumb drive in my bug out bag, and I'm there. You got to create some redundancy there, and you might have to run out of your house butt naked, you know, and everything's gone. Everything is gone. Don't believe me? Ask people in North Carolina. Ask the people in North Carolina who didn't have flood insurance, and now they're fighting with their insurance company going, this is an act of God. And the insurance company has all the money and all the lawyers. So we're going to see what happens with that, right? Let's see here. Oops says he's sighting in a new rifle. Nice. And pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. Creative redundancy is preparing is insurance. You don't need to wait on phone for. I gotcha. Ian says, I'm omnipresent this morning. Have a pipe in the Rumble icon. I've got you. I'll have to keep an eye on you, sneaky boy. Nope, cowboy hat on my YouTube icon. I got you, Ike. Yeah, but he could have looked at that. He could have looked at that icon and said, "Nah, that's me. Show me your tattoos." Let's see here. Save in the ground to Bradley Collins. Thumb drive at my daughter's house. That's a great idea. Light Raider. Okay, so let's go with number 10. The number 10 myth. Emergencies are isolated events. Emergencies often trigger a chain reaction of other problems. For instance, a power outage could lead to water supply disruptions, or a flood could contaminate food and water sources. Planning for these cascading effects is vital. Storing water, having a backup power source like a solar charger, or preparing for sanitation issues can prevent secondary disasters. Having multiple layers of redundancy ensures that if one system fails, there's a backup in place. We cannot talk about backups. One is none, two is one, whatever algorithm you want to use to justify, your understanding of things, to make it so that it's okay for you to buy things, whatever it takes. Do not forget that just because one thing happened doesn't mean it won't cause another thing to happen. That's why they call it a cascade event. One problem turns into three other problems. So also know it as, tertiary effects or third echelon effects, that kind of thing. Creative redundancy says pace plan. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Okay, what do we got here? It's 9:47. Let's go ahead and check the, we've got, what do we got? We got 21 people in here with 19 votes. Now would be the time for you to put your vote in if you have not voted yet. So moving beyond myths and building some true preparedness, understanding and debunking these misconceptions is just the beginning. True preparedness involves taking concrete steps to ensure readiness. So we're going to go over a few things here. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Worm is in the other room meowing because he's bored. Develop a plan. Families should create an emergency plan that includes communication strategies, meeting points, and evacuation routes. Conducting regular pace drills or practice drills ensures everyone knows their role, even under stress. Involving children and elderly members in these drills is crucial, as it empowers them and reduces panic during emergencies. Kids need to have something to do. Give them a task. Give them a responsibility during emergencies. That way they know that that's what they're supposed to do, and that will take the stress away from them. Also, stay informed. Signing up for local emergency alerts and apps can provide real-time updates and developing situations. Familiarizing oneself with local hazards and evacuation routes is essential, especially for those living in areas prone to hurricanes, wildfires, and flooding. A quick story. My phone was letting me know that I have too much stuff on it the other day, so I had to spend half an hour deleting videos that I make for you guys that I just left on my phone because I'm a retard. It told me when I did the scan, it told me that I had some apps that I hadn't used in a couple of months. And so if I wanted to delete them, and one of them was Code Red. And I was like, wait a minute, it's really been 3 months since Code Red went off. And Code Red is an app that you can get on your phone that tells you when something bad is happening around you. So if you're interested, get that app. It's called Code Red. No, I did not delete it. All right, so prepare your home. Take preventative measures like securing heavy furniture can minimize damage during earthquakes. Having a fire extinguisher in easy to reach places and know how to use it properly can prevent a small fire from turning into a disaster. Learning how to shut off utilities quickly is another critical skill. And then there's building a community network. Strengthening relationships with neighbors fosters a support system that can be invaluable during emergencies. Sharing skills, pooling resources, and creating neighborhood response plans can enhance resilience for everyone involved. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat here real quick here. Pastor for Reality says, yes, having multiple methods for the basics is one of the most important things I have learned about being self-sufficient. Boom. And Ian says, be wary. That should not have been on the list. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That should not have been on the list. Gotcha, Broseph. And we're going to put a star next to that. I don't know why I'm putting it changed. The whole chat just changed. Did your chat just change because I starred that? That was really weird. I don't know what that means. But I'm giving you you're getting a star today, Ian, because you're so super awesome today. Rose made news that the FEMA director told staff to ignore homes was fired. Will we trust the next director? Well, I'm sure the next director will wear a red tie, and I think things will be very different. Also remember too, it's really difficult to fire a government employee, and 99% of the time when that person is fired, they're really just reassigned. They give them a desk in Adak, Alaska, something like that. Cuckfee says proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Yes, the 7 Ps. The 7 Ps is one of the greatest algorithms there are to preparedness, to anything in life. All right, so quick look at the chat. Looks like 59% believe that the emergency myth that you find the most, which emergency myth do you find the most surprising? You think it's surprising that the myth is that help arrives quickly every time? And you'd be absolutely right. You'd be absolutely right. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and close this up by addressing these myths and focusing on practical steps. Individuals and families can face emergencies with confidence. Preparedness is ultimately about shifting from the mindset of fear to one of proactive action, ensuring that when the unexpected happens, the impact is significantly reduced. All right, guys, for those of you that stuck with me through the great power outage of 2024, I want to thank you. Yeah, as you're, don't forget to hit your thumbs up as you go out the door. It's free and it really helps if you haven't done that yet. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Everybody check your bells because YouTube has been turning them off. Not a joke. I'm pretty much reminding everybody every day now. If you want to support the channel, the way you do that is by becoming a member. Almost choked on my own spit. If you're on your phone, make sure that you find that either blue or green more letters in the text someplace, and scroll down and then find the join word and click on that, and then pick the one in the middle, because that is the one that gives you access to all the stuffs. All right, guys, that's going to be about it for today. I'm going to try and set up for the alien UFO hearing today. It's supposed to go at 11:30. We shall see if they're on time. I'm not going to turn it on until they turn theirs on. So if it's late, it's not me. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye-bye.